Somewhere along the way, society agreed that hard work should be rewarded, and that is a lovely idea. However, nobody told these people on this list because they found something better. These 10 jobs hand you a serious paycheck in exchange for what can only be described as you doing the bare minimum. Some of these jobs sound made up, but they're completely real. These are the top 10 jobs that pay insanely well that you do next to nothing for. Number 10, oil rig standby crew. When people think of oil rigs, they picture danger and noise and men heroically shouting things like, "She's gonna blow." And look, sometimes that happens, but not if you're standby crew. Standby crew have one job, just wait. Sit there, fully trained and completely prepared for the disaster that, let's be honest, probably isn't coming. And for that, someone writes you a very generous check. You're not fixing pipes and you're not covered in oil. You're lying on a bed in the middle of the ocean, reading a book and strumming a guitar, wondering if this counts as working, like a fire extinguisher, critical and respected and just hanging there collecting dust until further notice. The catch is weeks offshore, surrounded by nothing but water and co-workers you'll probably never even work with. But here's the part nobody puts in the job listing. Doing nothing in the right place with the right job title pays significantly better than doing everything on land like a normal person. You're not selling your effort, you're selling your availability. And honestly, good for you. Number 9, lighthouse keeper. This job used to be dangerous with lots of responsibility. Now, in some places it's basically watching a light bulb. Modern lighthouses are automated, they do their job on their own, which means the keeper is there mostly to check that everything is still working. You show up, you look around, you confirm the light is still doing its job, and that's about it. There's no rush, no chaos, no one asking you for anything. Just you, the ocean, and a job that quietly pays you to exist near it. The hardest part isn't the work, it's the silence. You're alone with your thoughts for long stretches of time, which, depending on your personality, is either peaceful or a slow mental breakdown. But in terms of effort, it's one of the calmest paychecks you'll ever see. Number 8, professional sleeper. Some people wake up early, participate in the rat race commute, work all day and go to bed exhausted. Others get paid to go to bed. Professional sleepers are hired by researchers and companies to test sleep. That means your job is to lie down, fall asleep, wake up and explain how it went. That's the job. You might have to avoid caffeine like it's a sackable offence. But at the core of it, you are being paid to do something your body already insists on doing for free. There are people right now struggling to stay awake at work while someone else is being paid to close their eyes and relax. It's not always full-time, but when it does come up, the money is real good. And here's the part that really gets under your skin. Sleep studies can run for weeks. Some participants are monitored across multiple nights in a controlled facility, meaning you could be earning a consistent income for doing nothing more than maintaining a regular sleep schedule and answering a few questions in the morning. Which raises an uncomfortable question. At what point does being lazy become a career move? Number 7, golf ball diver. Every year, millions of golf balls disappear into lakes. Not a few, millions. It's like golfers are in a quiet competition to see who can lose the most money without admitting it. And that's where this job comes in. Golf ball divers go into those lakes and collect them, come back out and sell them. The entire business model depends on one reliable truth about amateur golfers, which is that they will never ever stop doing this. One dive can pull up more balls than most people hit in their entire life, which is slightly embarrassing for the people paying to lose them. The work isn't constant either. You dive in, collect a batch, and you're done. Then you clean them, resell them, and wait for the next group of golfers to donate more. It's a passive income stream built entirely on other people's incompetence. The only downside is the water. It's years of mud, weeds, and broken dreams of middle-aged golfers losing money on balls and on a life with an expensive wife they've been trying to hide from on the fairway. But financially, it works, which is more than we can say for the people aiming at the lake. Number 6, professional bridesmaid. When people think of bridesmaids, they picture best friends and matching dresses and someone ugly crying during the vows. And look, sometimes that happens, but someone decided that friendship was actually a service you could invoice for. And honestly, fair enough. Professional bridesmaids are hired by real brides for real weddings to do exactly what a normal bridesmaid does, except with a daily rate and absolutely no emotional baggage. You attend dress fittings and bachelorette parties and beautiful ceremonies, fully present and genuinely cheerful for someone you met roughly 2 weeks ago. You keep the mood light and the logistics tight, and the maid of honor from having a complete breakdown in the car park. And for that, someone hands you several $100s a day. Not for expertise and not for years of training, just for showing up, being calm, and keeping the whole thing from falling apart. You're not selling a skill, you're selling your composure. And apparently, on someone's wedding day, that is worth every penny. Number 5. Luxury house sitter. Imagine owning a house so expensive you don't trust it to be empty. Now imagine paying someone else to live in it while you're gone. That's this job. Luxury house sitters stay in multi-million-dollar homes and make sure everything is fine and above all, unempty. You might water a plant. You might feed a dog that eats better than most people. And the rest of the time, you just exist, watching Netflix and sleeping in late. There's no rent to pay, no bills, just you, in someone else's house, in your pajamas no doubt, trying very hard not to touch anything that looks expensive, which is most likely everything. The real skill here isn't the effort you put in, which is nothing at all, it's trust. Someone has to believe you won't throw a party that ruins their entire property or steal their silver. So if you can be responsible, quiet and slightly paranoid about breaking things, congratulations, you're hired. You can get paid to live in a house you definitely couldn't afford. Number 4. Netflix tagger. When people think of their dream job, they picture doing something meaningful and challenging and impressive sounding at dinner parties. And then there is the Netflix tagger. Netflix will actually pay you $60,000 a year to sit at home and watch television. That is the job. That is the whole job. You watch something and then you write down what you just watched. This show has a morally complex protagonist and themes of betrayal set in 1970s rural America. Congratulations, you just earned money. This is obviously not a regular job. You don't send emails that begin with, "as per my last message." You just watch TV and you take notes like a very well compensated film student. The technical term is metadata tagging, which is a very serious phrase for what is essentially being paid to have opinions about TV. And Netflix needs this, desperately, because without you, their algorithm falls apart and nobody knows what to watch and humanity suffers. So really, you're not just watching TV, you're providing a critical service from your sofa. Not all heroes wear capes, some wear PJs and hold a TV remote all day. You're welcome, society. Number 3. A champagne taster at a French vineyard. At some point, the French decided that someone needed to professionally drink champagne for a living, and that person should also get to live in the French countryside while doing it. And somehow, that person is not you, yet. The Grande Marque champagne houses of Rams and Epernay employ full-time tasters to evaluate blends throughout the year. You swirl and you sip and you think very deeply about bubbles, and then you call it a full day's work. In between sessions, you go home to the French countryside with subsidized accommodation and a cellar that would make a grown adult weep with gratitude. There is technically some expertise involved and a genuinely developed palate and years of training. But let's be honest about what the job description really says. Drink champagne. Live in France. Repeat. You are not saving lives and you are not sitting in traffic wondering where it all went wrong. You are drinking exceptional wine in one of the most beautiful regions on earth and someone is paying you to do it. The only dark part is knowing you could have been doing this the whole time. Number 2. A beach inspector. Somewhere in the Caribbean or the Med, a government official sat down and decided that someone needed to be paid to go to the beach every single day and check that it was still a beach. And that person is living their best life. Beach inspectors are hired by councils and tourism boards to assess cleanliness and safety and facilities along some of the most beautiful coastlines on the planet. You drive along in a buggy and you take some notes and you make sure the sand is still where everyone left it. You are not in a boardroom and you are not on a conference call and you are not explaining to someone why the printer isn't working. You are on a beach, professionally, with a clipboard and a job title and absolutely nowhere else you are supposed to be. The technical term is inspector, which sounds serious and important, and not at all like someone who got extraordinarily lucky with their career choices. You are not managing a team, and you are not solving problems. You are simply a person who showed up to the beach and had the audacity to call it work. And honestly, the audacity paid off. At number 1, a private island caretaker. At some point, someone became so extraordinarily wealthy that they bought an entire island and then decided they had too many other islands to actually spend time there. So they hired someone to live on it for them. That is your job. You maintain the property and keep things in order and make sure nothing falls apart while the owner is busy being rich somewhere else, with his rich friends doing rich stuff. And in between all of that, you live on a private island that your entire family tree could not afford between them. Some days the hardest decision you will make is whether to sit on the east side of the island or the west side. The kind of decision that would feel ridiculous to explain to anyone who has ever set an alarm for a Monday morning commute. There are no neighbours complaining about noise. There is no traffic, no queues, and no one asking you to stay behind for a quick chat after the meeting. Just ocean, silence, and the kind of sky that makes you wonder why you ever lived anywhere else. The view that most people save as a screensaver, that is just your Tuesday. Now there is one catch, and it is an important one. It is not your island. You don't own it, and you can't sell it, and you cannot invite your friends for a long weekend without asking permission from someone who almost certainly owns a yacht. You are simply the person trusted to keep someone else's paradise in perfect condition, which is either deeply humbling or the best deal anyone has ever negotiated. Honestly, it's probably both. And that was the top 10 jobs that pay insanely well for doing next to nothing. If you enjoyed this one, check the channel for more videos just like it.